Welcome back. The voters seem to have one thing on their minds this year, above all else. That is jobs. Jim, you've been a long-term supporter for high-speed rail. It's been touted as a major transportation project, but it's also been touted as a jobs project for the Valley. Now, Congressman Devin Nunes has called it, quote, a high-speed train wreck, unquote. Why is high-speed rail a good idea for the Valley? And does it pencil out? Well,
I mean, I think it pencils out. You know, transportation in every measure, whether it's rail or air or automobile, is subsidized by the government. There is nothing more subsidized than the automobile. We spend billions of dollars every year building roads and repairing roads and freeways and those kinds of things so we can run our cars on them. And we think that's a good idea, and so do I. We need to build the train track just as we build the roads for high-speed rail. High-speed rail will create jobs. If we get the maintenance facility in the San Joaquin Valley in Fresno County, that's going to create maybe up to 1,500 high-paying jobs. It's a good deal for the Valley.
Well, you know, they're saying that's the train to nowhere, but I think it goes to Bakersfield. So, where it's moving in that direction. What do the folks down in the South Valley feel about high-speed rail?
Well, you know, it's the train to nowhere issue when it was going to stop at Corcoran and, you know, put the prisoners on. That was kind of nice. And you know, I think everyone would like to see high-speed rail. They would like to, but there's governance issues. There's the business plan has been in question. You know, there's even the farmers are objecting to it.
Is this a question of maybe a good idea, poor execution?
Poor sales job, or the fact is they've talked about it for decades, and it's kind of like all of a sudden, you know, what were they doing for 2 decades, and then all of a sudden, oh, they're going to have to produce this thing, and it seems to be a long ways from answering a lot of people's questions.
If they can fix those questions, I think it works, and I think you can get outside investment interested in it. The Chinese would love to build and operate our high-speed rail system. There's some potential there for jobs and for showing the rest of the nation a new paradigm for transportation, as Jim was alluding to.
Judy?
I'm far more skeptical. Rolling the clock back, we actually opposed the proposition because our concern at the time was that it wasn't the highest priority for the state, and we didn't need any more bonded indebtedness for the state. Modesto is not on the track for even the short-term, long-term future. So we've been skeptical about it, and I don't think it does pencil out. I think they're going to have a hard time getting private money to come in toward it, and it doesn't work without private money.
Well, so you've got some opposition from the North Valley. You've got Republicans both in Congress and in Sacramento that have said they oppose it. There's some farmers now that are coming out in opposition to it. Jim, I mean, with all this opposition, even in this region alone, is this likely to happen?
Well, I mean, it's going to take a while. I think it's likely to happen, maybe not likely in the next several years. You know, in Europe and in Japan, they've been doing it for 25 years. This isn't some new technology, and in fact, it's going to be the latest technology for here, but it's going to be traditional technology used in Europe and Japan. At some point, we build that initial track. I think then it'll take off. That's the key thing. Build that initial line of track.
Well, let's talk about something that I think that most people in the Valley can agree about, and that's water. Now, the water bond's off, but Jerry Brown is back as governor, so I'm wondering, are we going to see a return of the peripheral canal issue around the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta?
Not real quick, not real soon.
The issue's never gone away, though. It's always been out there. I don't know. I think I might disagree a little bit, Diane. I think that is going to get a little more traction. But Brown does have to fix the fiscal structure of the state first.
What do you think about the water issue?
I think water will be back in a big way, but it probably not till the end of this year, or more likely 2012, which is the timing that the water bond is supposed to be back.
They pushed it off to 2012. Jim, what do you think about the water issues?
I think you got to fix it. You got to fix the Delta, and to fix the Delta, you need to have either a peripheral canal or a tunnel under it. That's got to be done. When those levees fail, and they will, we're going to then fall all over ourselves and spend billions of dollars to fix something we should have fixed up front.
But that we're talking about, the cost of that project there is very unclear. Anywhere from $5 to $50 billion.
Well, exactly, but you don't pay for it immediately. I mean, you bond it, you move forward. If those levees fail in the Delta, it's a wide open checkbook.
So it's a ticking time bomb.
It is a ticking time bomb.
Okay, well, when we come back, we'll try to predict the biggest political issues in the coming year. That conversation in a moment. This is the Maddy Report.